Hey, welcome to another video on expected value lotto, where we look at US scratch tickets and their expected values. And in this video, we're looking at the brand new Florida Lottery $50 500X, the cash ticket. This is probably the ticket in this series that most people are interested in. This is part of the January 2024 series of tickets coming out in Florida. And yeah, it's brand new, just came out today. So this is a number match game. You've got your winning numbers and bonus numbers if you can match any of these with you've got your numbers and the bonus numbers. If you can match any of these with the winning numbers, you win the prize shown. And then there are also a bunch of multipliers on this ticket: 2x, 5x, 10x, 20x, 50x, 100x, and 500x. There's also a star symbol where if you find that, it's like a win all, but you double everything. So it's like a double win all. Now here on this page, we have the prize structure and odds that the Florida Lottery put out on this game. The prize structure on this ticket is crazy. There aren't really that many prizes on here, and they increase really quickly. So, the odds are 1 in 4.23, and it looks like you can win anywhere from $100 up to $25 million, which is, pretty amazing that you can win $25 million on a scratch ticket. There are also no break evens. So if you win on this game, you are at least doubling your money. But I noticed that the odds on the $100 prize are 1 in 5, which means, I would probably get bored playing this game, because when you do win, you're mostly playing at the $100 prize level. So that is interesting. I also noticed that the odds of winning the $25 million are really, really long at 1 in 21 million, which we'll come back to later in the video. But you've got relatively decent odds of hitting $1 million, around 300,000. So yeah, interesting prize structure here. We also need to talk about taxes, because taxes play a significant role in this game, with over half the prize structure being affected by taxes. So in Florida, for any prize over $5,000, they're automatically going to take out 24% in taxes. And that's a lot of money being taken out of this game just in taxes alone. So, I'm curious to see how that's going to affect the overall value of the ticket. But yeah, I don't view the tax money as part of the value of a game, because it never hits your wallet. And so, yeah, the top 5 prizes here, I'm going to have a different view of these. So I'll give out the prize amounts that I'm going to calculate with. So instead of $10,000, I'm going to view this as 7,600. Instead of 20,000, I'm going to view this as 15,200. Instead of 50,000, I'm going to view this as 38,000. Instead of a million, I'm going to view this as $760,000. And instead of 25 million, I'm going to view this as a $19 million top prize. So with all of these adjusted prize amounts, when you run the numbers on this game, you find out that the payout comes in between 75 and 76%. Now, this is way above the minimum 70% that we look for all tickets, but this is a really, really low payout for a $50 ticket. Like, I've come to the conclusion that I'm not a big fan of $50 tickets, because it's a lot of $50 is a lot of money, and it just seems like states, well, in the case of Florida, they do not appreciate the $50 that you're putting into this game. 75% payout is way, way, way too low of a payout for a $50 ticket. You're working hard for your money, and the Florida Lottery is so flippant about it. The way that the payout's just not where it should be. So this is definitely not a ticket that I would be playing at all. And you'll see how it compares to other tickets, and we'll talk more about that value as we go through the video, because it is important. It's very important on this game. But we do need to mention that the 75% payout does include all of the top prizes and upper mid-tier prizes, which very few people are going to be winning, which means not many people are even going to see the 75% payout on this game. And so what we want to know is, what is the payout going to be for the average person with average luck who may not be winning those top prizes? And in order to figure that out, we're going to subtract out the value of the top 1% of prizes, recalculate, and see what that new payout is going to be. So looking back here at the prize structure, the separation between the top 1% and bottom 99% of prizes happens here at the $500 prize level. So just really strange that the Florida Lottery would choose to structure a game this way where, you know, almost the entire prize structure is cut off from 99% of people who are going to be playing this game. You have to be extremely lucky to make it up above the $500 mark. And so, yeah, just I don't know why you would exclude 99% of your customers from almost the entire prize structure, but that's what they decided to do on this one. So I don't recommend playing this game, but if you are playing it, when you do win, you're going to expect to see you're going to expect to see either $100 or $500 as your prize. Now, even there at the $500 prize level, there is a split. It's a very lopsided split, 96-4, which means 96% of these $500 prizes are going to join the $100 prizes and make up the bottom 99%. That's where, you know, almost everyone's going to be playing. There are 4% of these $500 prizes, though, that are going to join all these other prizes as the top 1% of prizes. Now, top 1% prizes are really, really hard to hit. If you want to know the odds of hitting one, look at the overall odds, move the decimal point 2 spaces to the right, and you find out that the odds of hitting a top 1% prize are 1 in every 423 tickets. And that means that you are in over $21,000 before you would expect to see even one of these top 1% prizes. So that is significant and something to consider if you're thinking about playing this game. So because so few people are going to be winning here in the top 1%, we're going to take the value of all of these prizes, subtract that from the payout number you saw before, and that's going to leave us with the value of just the bottom 99% of prizes, where 99% of people are going to be playing this game. And when we do that, we find out that the payout of the bottom 99% of prizes comes in between 60 and 61%. Now, this barely meets the 60% minimum that we look for all tickets. So, you know, this is going to feel like an average ticket, I guess. If you were going to play a bunch of these, it would feel kind of like playing a bunch of $10 tickets or $5 tickets based on what the average person with average luck is going to get back as a return. But, you know, we'll see how this number compares to other $50 tickets a little bit later in the video. Now, here on this page, we are tracking the increases and decreases in Florida $50 tickets. And I can say that Florida $50 tickets do not match what other states are doing. And, you know, we see this huge decrease in value. So the data point for the 500 times the cash is all the way over here on the right. There was a pretty significant decrease from the ticket that came out last year. Around this time, I guess it came out in February. So the 1 million a year for life spectacular had quite a bit more value than this 500X. However, this 500X of cash does have a little bit more value than the previous 500X of cash. So it's not going to be the worst $50 ticket we've ever seen, but it's not nearly good enough to consider playing. But if you are, for some reason, playing $50 tickets in Florida, in green, you see the best tickets for every type of player. So the old 50X of cash is out of play. Both top prizes have been hit. So if you're playing for overall value, the year for life ticket is the one that you would want to play. If you're playing for odds, 50X of cash. If you are a more conservative player, 50X of cash has the friendliest payout for the average person. If you're more of a high roller, the year for life has a better payout there. And then we are also keeping track of top prizes. Now here on this page is where we're ranking Florida $50 tickets based on overall payout. You can see the new 50X of cash in second place here, but you know, it's pretty far below the year for life ticket, which is pretty far below some of the other $50 tickets we're seeing coming out in other states. Here is the bottom 99% payout, 50X the cash. This is the new one. And so I should mark that. So let me put this in here real quick so we can make sure that it's there for the next video that we do for $50 tickets. So that's the new 50x the cash. Is the friendliest to the average person, but still not that great when you look at what other states are doing. Here on this page, we're ranking $50 tickets across states. You can see these 250x the cash tickets. They are the worst $50 tickets we've seen come out of the 6 states that we're looking at. You see, you know, Texas has better $50 tickets. You've got Massachusetts, and really we want to see if you're paying $50 for a ticket, you want to see tickets in this 80% range. Massachusetts at 80%, and then Georgia at 83%. So this is where we want to focus our attention. And you know, this is 8 percentage points more than what Florida did with this ticket. And so, you know, we have to ask the question, if Georgia can put out a $50 ticket at 83% payout and make plenty of money doing it, then what in the world is Florida thinking putting out a $50 ticket at 75% payout? You know, that 8%, that is so much money, especially when you consider how many tickets go into making this game. So, you know, one scratch game can easily have 10 million tickets that make up the entire game. If you multiply 10 million times 50, that's $500 million that would go into making just one game. And 8% of 500 million is $40 million that the Georgia lottery would be giving its players, that the Florida lottery would basically be stealing from its players. Now, this is where we want to pay attention to the odds on the top prize. The odds of winning $25 million are 1 in 21 million. There are 2 of these. That means there are 42 million tickets in this game. So let's go back here. We're going to say 40 million tickets that are in this game. So the $40 million difference that we mentioned with the 10 million ticket number, multiply that by 40, that is $160 million that the Florida lottery could be giving its players, that they are basically stealing from its players. I'm going to title this video, I don't know, something about the great scratcher heist or something like that, because it is theft. The Florida lottery is stealing $160 million from its citizens with this $50 ticket. And the reason I'm calling it theft is because they are hiding the payout of this ticket. And, you know, whenever you're hiding something, it's like you're trying to get away with something. And if you're trying to get away with something, it's wrong. And Florida Lottery is basically stealing $160 million from its players on this game, and it should be illegal. Whoever's running the Florida Lottery should get fired for this. I mean, yeah, it's crazy and pathetic and embarrassing, and I cannot believe that it happens in the United States, that it's legal for a state to steal $160 million from its people. Now here on this page, this is the comparison for the bottom 99% payout. So again, 60%, that did meet the 60% minimum we look for, but look where other states have the bottom 99% payout, 71, 73, 73. So while 60% is about average, it's not average for a $50 ticket. I mean, Florida Lottery is just ripping its players off like crazy on this game. Now here on this page, we have the top 36 tickets we've looked at on the channel so far. It is a shame and an embarrassment that this Florida Lottery $50 ticket does not make this list. It is not in the top 36 tickets that we've looked at on the channel so far. So that is just crazy. It blows my mind. And then here on this page, top 36 tickets for bottom 99% payout, 60% also not good enough to make this list. So yeah, I mean, this Florida Lottery $50 ticket, it is such a ridiculous ticket. It completely is a heist. except for it's a legal heist. Somehow this is legal. I don't know how this is legal, um, but this should be against the law. Um, and whoever's running the Florida lottery ought to be held accountable. People need to be educated and aware of what's going on with tickets like this in states like Florida. Yeah, please spread this information as much as you can. Please don't play this ticket. Don't let the Florida lottery steal your money. And please, care enough about other people to let them know that this is theft, that the Florida lottery is taking part in. So, wish I had better news for this ticket, but it is unfortunate. And so that is going to be it for this video and for this new series of tickets that is coming out here in January. So we had a couple of decent ones, and then a couple of bad ones, and then we have this really horrible thing that's happening right here. So that is it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.